Hello and welcome to Suddenly Single, the new and hilarious dating podcast.
Where we're going to get our celeb mates to tell us about their dating disasters.
We're also going to have a few experts in the studio to tell us where you and I are going wrong.
Come on, and I don't think you've got enough makeup on.
I need the sun, I need inspiration, I just want to give.
On this episode of Suddenly Single, we have a very special guest. Everybody thinks they know her, but do they really? It is the one, the only, Lizzie Cundy.
Yeah, there's two sides to Lizzie. She's not just the party girl. She's also a lovely homebody.
Let's find out.
I just want to give. Just want to get out of here.
Welcome to Suddenly Single. We have a very special guest today. Somebody that do you know her?
Yes, of course I know
No,
her.
personally, it is
Well,
Lizzie
not as
Cundy.
well as you,
I was going to
but
say,
yeah.
we kind of know you from red carpets and show business parties and all kinds of bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Just saying beforehand, you just had a car crash a
I
couple
did,
of days ago.
yeah, a
What
couple of
happened?
days ago. Sitting at a roundabout, stationary, and a lady came zooming into the back of me, like at 50 miles an hour, so shunted me right forward. But it actually, my car's a write-off, but I'm so grateful to be
The
here.
car was a write-off.
Yeah, it's a
Oh
write-off.
my goodness me!
So
That's
it's in a bad
Was it
way.
on a
Quite
motorway?
traumatic.
How
No,
fast
just
were
a
you
little
going?
lane. So I was stationary. She was going very fast. Didn't see the roundabout.
Oh.
Things can happen. So I'm very grateful to be here
so.
today. Yeah.
Are you single or are you dating?
Well, actually, I am fond of someone that I have been seeing. But look, I like being independent. I was married for a long time with someone for 20 years, and I just enjoy being free. You know,
What's the definition of free? Free to see other people if you want, or free to have your own spare time?
all of that?
Right.
I like my spare time. I don't have to watch someone else's pants and grubby socks and football kit.
Yeah, football because
yeah.
you're an
Yes.
original wag, right,
Yes,
Lizzie?
I was the.
Yeah.
That makes you sound old, but
No,
yes.
no.
I was the original wag.
Did you do
That's
Wag
for
the
many a
musical?
show.
I did wag. I've honestly made a living out of being one. So I know some don't like the term, but for me, it really did make me a living. And I did a show called Wag's World, where I'd go round to footballers' wives' home and look in their drawers and closets and these wonderful homes, and it was a great show.
So for the people that know you now from your own TV shows and red carpet appearance and stuff, that prior to that you were married to a soccer player or footballer.
Not soccer.
Sorry, I'm going into
I'm
my
not
American
saying that,
man.
yes.
You're
American.
back in the UK
Well, who
now,
did he
Tim.
play for and what was the setup?
Well, yeah, Jason played for some of the biggest clubs in the world: Chelsea, Tottenham,
Wow.
and England. It was incredible life, and I love football. And
Oh, right, okay.
I actually
Did you genuinely love football?
Well, not when I first met him, no. And I remember going to the game thinking, oh no, this is so boring. And my friend was like, oh, look at his legs. And I didn't know I was sitting next to Jason's dad, who was like, girls, can you watch the game? We were talking about the legs. And looking at Gary Lineker at the time. And no, but you get hooked on football. And he made me laugh, and we got on so well. And, we were very young, like 19 years old. And
had beautiful children
Yeah,
together.
and we've got two beautiful boys, so
Yeah.
I'm very, very lucky and blessed. And we did have we were good together, and he went through a lot. He got cancer twice, testicular cancer. We set up a charity together. We did lots, and it was a shame, it didn't. I hoped it was forever, and it didn't work out.
When did it finish and when did you both say, right, time to move on?
Gosh, a good 12 years ago now. But
That's quite a frightening time for somebody if you've
Yeah.
been together a long time
It was,
to
and
go
we-
out on your own again.
we were together from a very young age, and we'd gone through all the stages.
Yeah.
He was an apprentice at Chelsea. I was modelling, going through all of that and having children together. He had cancer, all of the sort of, we had, lots of ups and downs. He was a very injured footballer, and that's tough being, I'm not wanting any violence, but it's quite tough being married to someone that's injured a lot.
Quite intense.
If they're not getting picked and they're not playing and then they're ill. So it was quite tough at times, but we got through it,
Sounds like a proper family unit, though. Proper
it
relationship.
Was. It
for
was a proper solid,
good and bad times.
good and bad times, and it was sad it didn't work out in the end. But things happen in life.
But you've never married again
No.
since. Do you think that's part and parcel of having given so much to somebody for quite an intense period of your life and had kids that you don't need to get married again? Or are you a romantic? Would you like to get married again?
I would love to. I love being married.
Yeah.
I actually loved it.
Yeah.
But I want to choose the right person.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
same for you.
And I think that's how I feel.
Yeah, I mean, we were just talking earlier, like Tim obviously has had relationships, but the longest one, 4 years.
Yeah.
Right? I've had 2 long-term relationships. I like being in relationships. I like it.
Yeah, I do. I like looking after someone.
Yeah.
I actually do enjoy that.
Yeah.
Because I find I'm kind of that way. I'm a bit of a nurturer. But having that independence, when Jason and I split up, I was able to do amazing things that I would never have been able to do if I was married.
That's true. It does open. Do you know one thing? I think somebody said it to me once. But when something happens to you that you don't want to happen, 6 months later you're somewhere totally different, and none of those things would have happened if that hadn't happened. I mean, you probably wouldn't be on TV now.
No,
you wouldn't.
I don't think I would, because my life was football around Jason. We went to every game, whether it's Manchester, Sunderland. You know, it was about what he ate at the weekends, and then what he did after football, because you've got to reinvent yourself, and that's quite hard. You've had 70,000 people cheering your name to then suddenly nothing. It's a hard adjustment, and then you'll see a lot of marriages in that football don't work out after football finishes.
And that's the cut-off point, is it? When it goes from everything's good to, or everything appears to be good to.
Yeah, it's quite tough to live with, which you can understand in a way. I'm not asking for anyone to feel sorry for footballers, but it's quite tough, and not everyone is on the wages of Beckham. You know, the John Terrys, the Frank Lampards. They're not always, you know, they're not all. Yeah. And it's very hard when that roar stops from the crowd.
Was being a wag at that time the same as it is now? Because when I look at wags half-heartedly, because they are in the papers, I always think, God, wags are as competitive as their male partners on the field, because they have licensing deals and makeup deals and their own spin-off shows or interviews, and it is very competitive to be in the papers. Was it like that when you were a wag, or was it all kind of a new thing then?
Well, it was new, because I was there at the World Cup. You know, we've just lost lovely Sven, very sadly.
Did you meet him?
Yeah, I met Sven. I actually, very interesting, funny story. A friend of mine was getting the houses, property for footballers, and I could sense with the World Cup the interest in the girls and the partners, and I said, this is going to be big business, you know. And my friend said, it's really weird, I'm showing a house for Sven. So I said, I need to meet, can you give my number? And he was like, oh no, Lizzie, please don't. I want to do something. No, that's the last thing I want to do. I was like, no, please. And anyway, Sven did actually call me, and I said, look, I want to come out to the World Cup. I want to do interviews. I think there's going to be huge interest in the partners and girlfriends. And would you agree to it? And he was kind of silent. I was sitting there, and he was quite silent, and he was very softly spoken. And he went, fantastic. It will take all the pressure off my players, have the attention on them.
Do you think, as you get older, because we obviously touch on this quite a bit, that you know yourself better? Or do you just put up more defences so that people can't get through, and you still end up only dating certain types of people?
No, I think I know myself better.
So you know when to say, no, I'm not going to put up with that crap again.
I've learnt from mistakes, and I've had some big ones. I've had some terrible ones. I mean, I saw a guy that was actually seeing his ex-girlfriend and her daughter, as well as me.
And her daughter?
At the same time.
Surely she didn't know that.
Well, no, we all didn't know. And,
But did you know he was a Lothario that you shouldn't really have gone there? Because we've all had those.
Yeah, I knew he was a bad boy, really, but I thought, I can change it.
So you like bad
Women
boys?
do think that.
And I don't know, but I've learnt. And you know what? And I always, I think fall in love, it's fabulous. Because people say, oh, I'm going to be let myself open and vulnerable. But you learn a lesson. If it doesn't work out, there's always a lesson to learn and be stronger.
Yeah. Is there always another man, though? Because we were not criticising, but we say it's limited the new people that you meet. Because it's not when you're 20 or when you're 25.
It's probably
There's
less
always
so
a
for
party,
Lizzie.
there's a holiday, there's loads of people.
She'll
Well,
have
but is
quite a
that the
few
case that you're
events.
always meeting new people and there's always opportunities
Well,
if you want to take them?
Yeah, my mum said we like a monkey swinging on the tree. Have one in the standby to go
What's that hand
along.
holding on
Oh,
to?
go Lizzie's mum.
Yeah, she's good. She's 89. She still has a boyfriend, different
Does
suitors.
she?
Yeah, she's amazing. She looks
Wow.
incredible. She's out. I'll call her and she's like, darling, I'm courting tonight. What are you doing? I'm having cocktails. She's great. I'm going to be like that. But I'm courting, darling.
That's
Stuart's
right.
here.
I'm going to be 89 on a bar stool and courting people.
That hopefully I'll be like my mother.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, have a backup plan, and that sounds quite harsh. But you know, enjoy life, and I just think it's only life. Have fun. You know, I'm not hurting anyone. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not married. I'm gonna go out there and
But
have
how
fun.
do you meet people? How do you swipe left and right?
I don't.
You don't? Not
No.
even Raya?
No, I don't. And I'm a bit old-fashioned. I like to meet in a bar or Instagram.
But do people
I have.
come up to you in a bar? Maybe when you look like you, they do.
Well,
I don't
yeah.
know.
I mean, I do. I like the old-fashioned way. I don't really like the dating apps. And
Are you proactive or reactive when it comes to meeting somebody new?
a bit of both.
Right.
I'm not shy to
So you
think,
wouldn't be shy to say to someone, you know,
No.
why don't we go for a drink?
I wonder
See,
what
I
you were going to
would-
say.
Well,
then.
I
would
kind
be.
of do it. I'll do it in a way where I go, oh, I think I can help you with this. Shall we have a chat? And then I'll think, oh, see how it. I won't kind of ask them on a date. I'm a bit old school and would rather they do it. But I did see someone on Instagram that I liked, and I thought, oh, I wrote a little message. Just saying, oh,
Did you?
And then he came back, and then we started seeing each other.
And
Oh.
where's it gone?
Whatever you mind, Vincent.
But they say, don't they, that Instagram is as good for dating as any of the other dating apps.
It
because
is.
people can see what you're out there, see your personality or a version of it,
Yeah.
and slide into your DMs.
Exactly. But the only thing with me is I think people get the wrong idea a bit about me.
Why?
Because possibly...
What's the idea?
If possibly I've not helped myself very much with how I dress.
Listen.
But I think they think, oh, you know, she loves posing on, you know, red carpet
Yeah,
and
yeah.
all of that.
Yeah.
And I'm actually not. I'm a real home girl and love my boys' family, love cooking, love, you know, I love helping people with problems. I'm quite, call me a wagony aunt now. But
Wagony
I
aunt.
actually enjoy that.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm not this, though I love the showbiz side. It's not
Yes.
really me.
Are there any things that give you the ick about men that you go, it sounds to me like it's a powerful man, somebody that can be a bit naughty, quite charismatic. Is that the type of guy
and
you
someone
want?
to make me laugh. I think
Gotta
laughter
laugh.
is everything.
Yeah.
And if you make me laugh, I just will fall in love with you. I
Yeah.
like someone, I don't like too serious and needy. I
Yeah.
hate someone saying, why? You said you'd be in by 9 and it's now 1:15.
You've just written my own profile. That's exactly what I want. Humorous, not
Humour.
needy.
Yes.
Yeah.
But playing
That's
devil's advocate, are they saying, where are you now? And you've said because it's quarter of an hour late, or is it because you're 3 hours late regularly because everybody wants you to stay at a party or film and they're like, okay, I'm
Well,
going to
yeah.
go
That comes
home?
with the territory, right?
It does. And I,
Yeah.
If we like theoretically, if we were a couple and you said I'm going to a premiere tonight,
You were?
no, you,
Okay.
and you're not in by 2, I'm not going to call you because clearly you've gone to the after drinks.
Yeah.
Yes, you
but
But
if,
then
if
there's
I'd
very few
arranged to
people
meet
that-
you at 11
Oh
and I
no,
didn't turn
then
up
I'm
till 2,
really,
then
really
no.
cheesed off.
Yeah, no,
that's
I won't-
different. At least text.
yeah, I would.
we're having an argument. We're not even going out.
Are you going
And a
out?
fictional thing. Well, I was just talking about quarter of an hour late.
Something's
Great.
going on. There's something going on. No, look, I'm not. I would never leave someone waiting. But if
Yeah.
I'm saying, look, I'm at a premiere tonight, and then they're like, where are you? Where are you? It's going to
Yeah.
get on my nerves.
Are you on any dating apps?
No,
Right. If you were
I've
on
never
a,
been on one. I never want to be on
never
one.
been on one.
No, and I don't want to.
But you do go to enough premieres, parties, red carpet. If you
But
wanted
I
to, you
would
could
not
probably go out
really-
every night.
I
And
don't-
you work in media.
I do work in media,
You'd
but I
people
don't
every
think
day.
on those red carpets you meet people. You know that, Tim. Do you really meet
No.
the person of your dreams? Someone you say, oh, you're going to meet loads of men on these events and red carpets you do. you actually don't. And they're not always the people
Especially if
you
you're
want to be out
filming you with a crew that you know
Yeah.
and that's it, and you're not dating them, so you go off film
Look,
and then you're back home.
with. I know, exactly.
You live out in
And
the countryside, don't you,
I'm
as
in
well,
the
so-
country a bit. I'm moving a bit nearer in.
Oh,
Yes,
exciting.
Richmond, to my old hometown.
Oh, no, you'll be neighbours.
Oh, right, there we go.
Exactly.
Exactly. A cup of tea and a catch up. But no, wait, you know, the red carpet, I mean, you do meet, when I had a mad experience where I was interviewing actually Tom Cruise, and I thought, I don't want to go to this movie after. I was with my son, and we went into the restaurant. It was around the corner from Leicester Square, and who was sitting there? Tom Cruise, and he whistled over and said, "Come and join us." And we had the whole evening with him. It was amazing.
How amazing.
So there are some nice sort of big stars
I'm trying to work
out
out
there.
if you put Tom and Lizzie together, you know, like Tomcat would be Tom Liz. At least Tom. That would
I'd
have been
to
a
wear
great
flats.
coupling.
I'd have to wear flat
Yeah, I think
shoes.
you
It would be
might
too good.
have
But
He's handsome, but I wouldn't say tall is his
No.
number one
no,
thing to put on a profile.
No. But you know, I don't think you meet people at these sorts of showbiz parties.
Well, you
Well,
just
no,
had
I
dinner
don't.
with Tom Cruise. Come on, you know.
But I don't think you meet your perfect man there. I don't know.
So
I haven't.
where have you met your
Where-
semi-perfect men then?
As I say, at a bar on Instagram. You know,
Yeah,
it's mad. And I met one guy that he came up to me in a restaurant and he just chatted, and then the next day we were sitting next to each other in a different. It was kind of like weird.
Stalker.
No, it was just
You see-
it was a fluke.
I've always liked going around people that are more attractive than me, which you are, and that's not putting me down. But I've done this for years with girlfriends because it's brilliant. You go out and they just come over. Where's his friend? Is he nice? Like-
Yeah,
but it's true, they do. With women
Yeah.
like you, they do just come over.
Well, I don't know. I think maybe I scare some guys a bit because I think.
But
they
that
think,
won't be
"Oh,
the kind of guy you want to be with anyway. When
If you were on a dating app though, what's your search engine? Do you want age appropriate? Do you want somebody older, younger, divorced, grown-up kids? What
Well,
are you looking
I don't
for?
want someone that's going to be going to bed after Coronation Street
Yeah.
taking a Horlicks.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I find that sometimes when
we
a bit
can't
younger,
date them, Lizzie.
Yeah. So younger
that's
man.
someone younger.
Sometimes
Younger
have
man.
a bit more I have a lot of energy.
Yeah.
I really do, and I don't need much sleep. So usually younger men, usually older men, I find are a bit set
You
in
want to
their
go out with a man
ways.
or a bat?
Yeah. Count Dracula. No, but I do actually tend to see guys a bit younger than me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I just find sort of older men are
How,
set in
how
their
young?
ways.
How young? Between 0 and 100. How young and
Look,
how old?
I don't think age is just a number. I have been out with someone that was 20 years younger than me, which was
That's not that.
secret for a while, which went on for 4 years secretly, which was crazy. It was very well known.
But
And
why did that not
a bit.
work?
I don't think it works because there is that huge age gap. You know, when you say, you
But
know, I
you're
love
not
Duran
looking to have
Duran.
kids, are you? You're
No,
not looking-
those
but-
days are gone.
But that's exactly. I think it's a different vibe that you bring to dating
Yeah.
when you're a bit older. There's less pressure on
Yeah.
the situation.
Yeah.
So
And
you can pick and choose and see somebody once or see them twice.
That's it. I agree with that, and I actually love kids. I love it if someone's got kids because I enjoy being around kids. I miss my boys who've flown off now, and you know, having their own lives, which is great. But I do miss not having that family. My youngest is in Australia.
Okay.
Oh my god, that must be tough.
Yeah, it's tough. Just got a job on I'm a Celebrity. They're working on the show because he's in
amazing.
Sydney. And Josh is an actor and he's working on Netflix. He's away, got a lovely girlfriend. So I'm kind
Are you
of
recalibrating what
Yes.
you are then?
Yes.
Is that why you're moving?
Yes.
Yeah. We have an expert that's going to join us, Francine, who puts the world to rights. And if you've got any questions, she's very good at recalibrating any mistakes that I've made or you've made.
Yeah.
or
I've
you-
made.
Yeah,
I
okay.
just wanna get out of here.
Lizzie, this is Francine, who you might have met in the makeup
Lovely to
room.
meet
She
you.
looks very, very friendly and pretty, but she's got steely eyes. So if you've got any good questions that you would like to ask about your relationship or any mistakes you think you might make, she usually has a very good answer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, warning you now. She
Okay.
likes to know the end.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Because I do like, I've in the past gone for a bit of a bad boy. And I have a tendency, because they're funny and carefree, but not very
And exciting.
exciting.
Not
yeah.
very what?
End up being very faithful or kind at the end because you end up getting hurt, don't you?
Yeah. So you kind of know that, though.
Yeah, I do. I go in knowing it, and though I think I can change them, but then I no one can.
No, you
No.
absolutely can't. So if you think back, how many times do you think you've done that?
Too many, yeah, a few times. Yeah.
But you get pulled back in because otherwise the other guys are boring.
Yes.
But we were talking earlier and you were saying that you've learned a great deal
Yeah.
about yourself or about them.
Well, I've actually learnt about myself that actually I deserve a bit better, and I don't have to put up with it.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
deserves a clap.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because I used to think, maybe it's me, or it's, but now I realise, no, it actually isn't me, and I do deserve to be treated a bit more with kindness and respect.
It's really interesting because, and I always do this, and it generally goes back to what we experienced back there then. So sometimes you can come from a really gorgeous upbringing. So mummy and daddy are really loving, and you feel very, very special, and you just are loved. Was that kind of your experience?
Well, my mum and dad were very busy. My dad was an art director. My mum worked in fashion, so they were very busy lives, very sociable, but very busy. And so I kind of grew up quite quick with a lot of parties going on in my house. To be honest, it was a bit of a mad upbringing, but great upbringing. But
so you learnt how to kind of mingle from very
I learned
early
to
on.
mingle. There are a lot of famous people because my dad is an art director, and I never was afraid of meeting famous people. So that kind of I was quite good at what I do, but it wasn't it was a kind of, they had different lives a lot of the time.
So you weren't necessarily given the amount of attention, although there was lots going on.
Yeah.
You didn't have that attention for yourself.
Yeah, possibly.
So this is so interesting because oftentimes when that's the case, and they're lovely people, nothing's wrong at all. Lovely home and everything like that. But when we don't get the kind of attention that we need, oftentimes we look for people who aren't going to give us the kind of attention that we need.
Oh, wow.
Why?
Because if we can make those people really see us for who we really are, which is what we're trying to accomplish, it's almost like we can heal whatever it was that we didn't get back there then. And we can only do it with difficult people. So there would have been plenty of young men who would have been in your life who would have adored you and given you everything, but they would have been boring because there's nothing to grow towards.
Okay, so just to flip that statement the other way around, and Lizzie looking for, dynamic bad boys, or I go out with stoic supermodels that never give you everything. How have they been brought up to give off the bad vibes that we're attracted to?
That's such an interesting question. So if we flip it round, so if you're attracted to somebody who doesn't give you that level of attention, they themselves would be a kind of avoiding getting too close. So if I take myself as an example, because I think that's really real, so I would be somebody who didn't get that level of attention at all when I was growing up, and I meet with somebody who also didn't get that level of attention. So now I'm trying to get it from him, and he's not going to give it to me because he's found a way of being insulated.
Yes.
And he doesn't.
So you can have a similar background
need it.
growing up.
It kind of similar, but you're working in two different ways. So you've got somebody who's more anxious and wants that, needs it, and somebody else who's pulling away, who's more avoidant. And then the more we need it, the more we go forward, and the more they pull away.
That's very true. And my friends always tell me off because if a guy keeps ringing, I'll be like, oh no, he's ringing again. They're like, that's good, he's ringing, he's keen. But I'll be like, oh, it's too needy. Whereas when they don't ring me, I'll be like, oh, I really like him. But why isn't he run?
Isn't that push-pull? That push-pull's just amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
When they really, really want you, it's overwhelming and far too much. And when they don't want you, what's wrong with me? Why are they not phoning? Yeah. So how do you find the balance? Is it about them? Is it about finding the one who's gonna?
Yeah, it's finding the balance. But I always tend to...
Who's finding the balance?
Well, it's me finding the balance because I tend to always go for the one that is kind of blanking me a bit. I'll be thinking, why? What is it? And then it makes me want them more.
Yeah.
Whereas if they're phoning all the time and being over nice, I'll be like, oh, it's been too much, too kind.
So what was different about your long-term marriage that you nurtured and looked after your husband and kept the show on the road?
Yeah.
2 young kids and he's got a career that you've got to support. What was about that made it work?
I think we just we hit it off. There was a great sense of humour. We always made each other laugh, despite whatever was going on. We'd find the funny side, and out of something bad, we'd always find something good. I don't know. We just
Well, you fancied each other as well.
Yeah, we had it. I don't know what it was.
Did
Just
it feel
something
like
very
you were a
special.
team?
Yeah, it felt like we were a team.
Yeah.
And I'd make up for him, and I felt he made me a better person. I made him a better person. There was something,
Yes.
but we grew apart.
Let's have a look at our goldfish bowl of truth, because we've got some questions now. We've all been at parties where we've had to pull things out. This is a lot of questions. Yeah, not that type of party. And we're going to do a few questions.
Yeah. Just wanna get out of here.
Ladies first. So we've got some questions here. We all have to answer them.
Right?
You're not left hanging. I'll
Yeah,
do
you're
it
not
as
left
well.
hanging. So if
Okay,
you'd like
let's
to go first.
delve in.
Yes.
Do I
You
Yes.
read it and you answer
Makes me
it.
get all funny as soon as this happens.
Have you been in love with 2 people at the same time?
Ooh.
Does that include myself?
Yes.
In that case, as you hope you've always been in love with at least 2
So
people.
I always keep a mirror and see where I go. I don't think I have. You know that.
Do you really not
I
think you have?
haven't. No, I haven't. No.
In lust?
I've been in lust, which is very
Okay.
different to love. I've been in lust
yeah.
with 2 people at the same time.
Okay. I'm glad you know the difference.
I do know the
Of course
difference.
I
I
do.
definitely have. Yeah, I definitely have.
Yeah. Have I ever been in love with 2? Never.
No.
No, just about being in love with one person.
Well, I was going to say, the same for me. Absolutely. Definitely not in love with 2 people at the same time.
No.
No, nor have I. Well, that seems a bit universal.
Well,
Because
there we
when
go.
I fall in love, I fall in love.
Yeah.
When was the
I'm
last
like-
time you fell in love?
Oh, I could be right now.
Oh,
Looking at Tim.
It's that Hawaiian shirt.
Oh, it's my Hawaiian shirt. Yeah,
Oh,
exactly. I
thank you.
knew I should put something on. It's my aftershave.
Okay. Can you remember the birthdays of your exes? Actually, I can.
Really?
Yes,
Wow.
I can.
Yeah.
That's very good.
What about
Yes,
you?
I can
Detail.
remember. I never forget birthdays, and I get really
Don't
funny
you?
if people forget mine.
Oh.
Because I always remember birthdays. It's interesting. Isn't it funny?
It's a short one.
Oh, not again.
What is this one?
Ever cheated?
Have you cheated?
Doesn't even have to be physical. Just mentally, you're flirting.
come on.
smelling.
Oh,
Of
most
course, in
people
my
have
head,
mentally
I've been got
cheated,
married
yeah.
to Keanu Reeves and
Yes.
Charlie Sheen, and who knows what 100 times.
Charlie
Of course I
Sheen.
have.
David
Yes,
Cassidy.
There's a
Charlie
date.
Sheen.
Yeah, he's a bad boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, no, you haven't cheated.
Not in physical real life.
Okay. No.
No.
Yeah, well, I have, but always at the end of it. Not always. It sounds it's regular, but when it has happened, it was the indication of the end of a relationship, and it was the end of the
Yes.
relationship. But I've never been one of those serial cheaters or
No.
somebody
I
that
mean,
cheats
cheated
for.
on.
Yes.
cheated
Oh,
on.
Yeah, I'm
I've been
sure I
cheated
have. I
on.
think you'd be very.
I've been cheated on so many times.
Yeah.
Well, I was saying I was at the end of a relationship, and
Yeah.
we knew it's over,
Yeah,
and I knew he was seeing someone else.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
But so
that's the end of it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair enough.
yeah.
Have you ever bought flowers for a man? I'll go first. No. Oh, in fact, I have, but not in a romantic
For a
way.
person?
Not in a romantic way, but for
dinner?
yeah, mate.
Thank you for
Sometimes I
dinner.
pick some flowers, but not romantically. No.
Okay.
Plenty
nice.
for
You're a nice
women.
friend.
Yeah. Oh,
How
yeah.
about you?
Yeah, I have. I just bought some for Bruno Tonioli because he's gone off.
Oh.
Yeah, I always buy flowers.
What's Bruno up to?
Oh, he's lovely. He's gone off to LA. He's
Oh.
going.
Oh,
He's
he's
dancing
doing
with the
the Dancing with the
Stars.
Stars,
Yes, so
right,
he's gone
okay.
to do that.
So has he come back? Is he here now? Why did you
No,
buy him
I
flowers?
bought him flowers because he actually bought me a nice present. He got me, so I gave him one back. He gave me his trousers that he used to wear on Britain's Got Talent.
Is that a nice
Yeah,
present?
right. Bloody hell, where are we going with this one?
Why do you need? I don't know if I want to know the answer. Why do you need Bruno Tonioli's?
You don't
I actually
need them.
posted about it. I got in because he's got really slim hips. I was quite chuffed. Snake hips.
Oh.
No, I like buying flowers. I buy flowers all the time.
But what do you do with the trousers? Are you dancing in them?
No, I just thought they're rather sparkling.
Just put them in water.
Jeans with glitter on. I quite like them. And he gave me them. I was
Okay.
quite chuffed.
What's the most romantic, sexy thing that you've done for a man that would be a gift?
Now, this is PG.
No, I'm just asking the question. A friend of mine who's was a presenter for a while had met this lady and they got together, and he had to go on air, and he said, I'll leave you here and I will be back later on. And it was in America, and there was a storm hit, and when he came back, she had taken a couple of pictures of herself not wearing much with him on the television and left it as a present for him.
And you think that's a nice gift?
I don't think it's better than raiding the fridge and stealing your TV, isn't it? I think so, yeah.
Okay, there's a difference between men and women.
Yeah.
If I got a picture of somebody with nothing on while I was doing a podcast or something, I don't think I'd find that as romantic as a bunch of flowers, to be honest with you.
No. Oh, well, no, I would have done that. No, what I did do for one guy, he really wanted to see his old mate and he couldn't find him, and I found him for him and arranged him to meet him at a dinner.
Oh, that is
that's
really
lovely.
nice.
That's lovely. That's
Very nice.
thoughtful.
Really
But I had to do investigation to
Keeper.
try and
Yeah.
keep it. So I did that.
That's really nice.
And on that bombshell,
We'll see you next time on Suddenly
Just wanna
Single.
just wanna get out of here.
So next week, Strictly star Debbie McGee on Life After Paul, being happily single, and answers the question, could she date a younger man?